Welcome to Sheridan College and College Dialogue 2013. My name is Sheridan Mansour. I'm your host for the day, and I am also the program coordinator of the Journalism New Media Post-Certificate program here at Sheridan College. I'm also joined by our registrar, Linda Dalton. We are so excited to have you welcome us today, and what's really exciting about what we've decided to do is to join you with a format that is reminiscent of The View, a show that I've always wanted to work on. My background is in television journalism before joining Sheridan College. I've been here for 12 years, and I absolutely love this place, this job, this role that I've taken on. We wanted to let you know, some of you have not opened up your grab bags, and inside, if you do open it up, you'll find a wonderful Sheridan mug made in our ceramic studio, a program we're very proud of at the college. So artistic, so creative. Our students do a great job, and that's a little gift for you to take home with you today. So we hope that you enjoy that. We have a lot of material to get through today. I wanted to welcome you personally because as guidance counselors, your role is so critical. And a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to meet with Linda and some other people, and we were talking about what guidance counselors do. And Linda, I think I mentioned to you how, you know, years ago when I was in high school, it was a guidance counselor that guided me into my television career. We sat and talked about it. We talked about opportunities, where I should study, what I should do. I've never forgotten him. He just made an imprint on my life and actually helped me craft this career. And I found myself at Fanshawe College in London, where I had a great experience as well. So I'm a fan of guidance counselors. I'm a fan of the college system, and I'm really happy to be here. So maybe you can let us know who these people are who've assembled with us, what we're here to do today.
Sheridan style. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the format and the setup. When we talked about doing it in the format of The View, I was a little bit worried that we'd be asked to tell our personal stories. And for those of you who know me, once I start on them, I don't stop. So we're very well scripted today to make sure we stay on target. But this is a chance to showcase the college system. And I, like Shireen, am a fan of the college system and, in fact, a product of the college system. I'm a Sheridan College grad from many, many moons ago. And the journey to get here is influenced by people such as the counselors who are working with us here today. So thank you for being here. We also have representatives, as you know, from the other colleges, a chance to showcase. This is one of a series of events around the province, so we're thrilled to bits to have you here and to be able to share with you the story of the colleges and help you share that story with others.
And we have a really great anniversary that we're marking today, don't we?
Yes, we do. It's 10 years that we've been doing this in the college system with dialogue. And some of you may or may not remember, many, many years ago, there was something similar that happened in the province. But it was the university sector who really led the charge on a dialogue format. And it was through the feedback we had from counselors as they talked to us about that experience with the universities and dialogue that one of our colleagues from Humber organized a group of people 10 years ago to start the dialogue within the college system. So it allows for that interaction. It allows for the chance for the guidance counselors in a different kind of a setup to see all representation from the college system so that you can ask your questions. And it's had an impact on the role. The recruitment team who you see, who will be presenting here today, have become more well-versed in things around admission requirements so that they can share that information with you. But happy 10th anniversary to Dialogue.
And I understand that today we're focusing on the central region, but there are 4 of these events. Yeah. So today we have assembled everyone from how far away?
Across the province. All 23 colleges are represented here today. So the central region hosts, as each of the regions host. Sheridan organized this event, but we do have representation, as you see from around the room, from all of the colleges, so that there's an opportunity for the panels to come forward, talk to you about those regions, but then an opportunity as well to talk to the individuals who are here today.
And assembled along the perimeter of the room, what can you see here?
Well, we see the amazing work of recruitment officers. Recruitment officers have this absolute amazing capability to have the energy and tenacity to travel the province to tell the college story. And they're able to bring their displays, assemble them in less than 10 minutes, spend all day on their feet talking about the college story, and then take it all apart within 10 minutes so they can get back on the road again. So that's your opportunity today to see them at each one of their booths.
Yeah, so if you have a moment, please, during some of the breaks, if you can make a point of seeing some of the people at the booths along the perimeter of the room, then have a conversation with them, ask your questions. It's a good opportunity to chat with them. We are so lucky to have such a good weather day today. I don't know if all of you have been suffering from the kind of weather that we've had right here in the GTA as well, but what a great day to celebrate the college system. And I'm really honored to also introduce to you and welcome our champion, someone who has been at the college, I guess 3 years now. Yep. And has really taken the helm and made it a really dynamic, exciting place. If I could call up Dr. Jeff Sabutsky. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So much is going on in the academic environment anyway in the province, and especially in the college system. And I was wondering if you could tell us what's new province-wide and specifically in the GTA.
You know, it's an exciting time to be in post-secondary education in Ontario and in the GTA. And I'm thrilled to be here at Sheridan and to welcome you here today. We've Sheridanized what would normally be our gymnasium. This is kind of the style that I've become accustomed to by the great team here at Sheridan, and I just want to welcome you all here. But it is really an exciting time, and when I reflect on the college system, we're coming up to about 50 years now that we've been in place as the college system, established in 1967. And when you think of the evolution and change over time, it's been quite remarkable. But I often think about the students of today and compare them to the students in 1967. And the system in 67 was created because there was a recognition that as the industrial age was moving forward, the more information age, is that students needed more high-level skills, and they needed the kinds of skills for the jobs of the day. And what happened was, it was recognized they weren't going to get that simply by leaving high school and then getting into the workforce. They needed a little bit further education. And that's what the college system was established to do. And it was to help people get the skills to get the job that would have them move into the job that they would keep for their career. And how things have changed. Because today, what we're doing is we're preparing young people for careers that will be multifaceted. They won't just get that job. They will get that first job that they're all excited about, but we know that they're going to have multiple jobs and multiple careers. So I think that's the complex environment that we're operating in right now as colleges, as universities, in talking about people's lifelong learning and the transitions that they will undertake through their careers between and amongst institutions. So a lot of the great dialogue right now that's happening is really about pathways for students. It's about being able to come into a college, get the skills that you need and get a job, or take those courses and move along to further education in a university context. Or increasingly, we're seeing students finishing university and coming to us at the colleges for postgraduate study. So I think that's really healthy. There has for too long, in my mind, been a bit of two solitudes between the colleges and the universities. And I think we've all recognized now that we're playing a complementary role in helping people to develop education that will serve their lifelong learning needs. I think that's a priority, and I was really thrilled in a meeting yesterday with the new Minister of Advanced Education, Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities, where he's talking about that pathways for students and the focus on creating seamlessness. And I think that's one of the most exciting things that's happening right now.
I'm one of those people. I studied in university first, and then after my university degree, I went to Fanshawe College and landed a job, and it was a really great experience to have both under my belt. And I find that more and more we're seeing university students apply to our programs, whether they're undergraduate or postgraduate, doesn't really matter. What do you think everyone out there needs to know about preparing students for those kinds of pathways?
Well, I think that for many students, and colleges continue to be about practical, hands-on education. And I think for a lot of young people who are coming out of the high school system, they want to know the relevance of what they're learning and what it's going to ultimately lead to. So I think for a lot of students, colleges are a great way to begin that learning pathway. We continue to be committed to small class sizes, very attentive service to the students, but demonstrating a real hands-on application of the learning. And I think for a lot of people, for young people, that is a good way for them to start having left high school into our system. And then once they catch fire, they understand what learning is all about. They learn how to learn. They become more critical thinkers. They'll often will carry on to education at other colleges or other universities. So I think that is our sweet spot as colleges. And as our organizations change and evolve, and certainly Sheridan is evolving, the 4-year degree is much more of a focus for Sheridan. We're increasingly becoming a 4-year undergraduate institution. We're never losing sight of the fact that we are really about practical education that has a relevant endpoint, whether that endpoint be to a job or the potential to carry on to further education.
So how can guidance counselors help? I mean, what role do you see them playing?
Well, I think one of the things that you're going to be challenged by as guidance counselors is that more complex environment that we are in. So whereas your role used to be about finding the right place for a student to go, because it was going to lead to a career for them, and then they would be off to a great career. We all recognize that it's going to be multifaceted careers. So I think the challenge is going to be to help parents understand that, really learning, there are no bad choices. It's about people having the opportunities to get into learning, to ultimately find their way into to education, to a job, but recognizing that that is going to change. And I think that's going to be, over time, helpful for us as colleges, as we recognize that you're not locked into one thing. People are living longer. We're seeing people extending their retirement ages because of people are living longer and healthier lives, and we're going to have those multiple careers. And I think the challenge is going to be to help people understand that you have choices and that you don't have to worry about getting into something that ultimately you're not going to be happy with, because our colleges and our universities are opening their doors to further lifelong learning. We're seeing our population of students at Sheridan becoming older, in the sense that we've got a lot of people who are coming back for second careers. And so I think that it's life is a wonderful mixed tapestry these days, and it's not about locking yourself into one thing. It's about a multitude of careers and learning opportunities. So I think that's going to be the challenge for us and for guidance counselors in the years to come, is helping people to navigate perhaps a little bit more of a complex environment around where careers are going to take them.
Sometimes parents really have a deciding factor on where a student may want to focus their post-secondary studies. What can we tell parents, what can guidance counselors talk about with concerned parents about whether or not college, whether or not university as an option?
I think the conversation about pathways is going to be really helpful for us as colleges. I think there used to be a sense that if you came to college, that was an end point. That was the end of your learning. You would come, take a 2-year diploma, get a job, and that would be it. And I think for a lot of parents, they wanted to know that the prospect of higher education was out there. And with the conversations that we're having, the great relationship that we, for instance, have at Sheridan College with the University of Toronto, Mississauga, where students can come and take a diploma and a degree program, the increase in our articulation agreements between colleges and universities to college, I think will be helpful for us in explaining to parents that you can choose to come to Sheridan, to Humber, to Centennial, to George Brown, and that doesn't have to be an end point for you. You can carry on to further education. Similarly, you can start at a university, get a great grounding and critical education in a Bachelor of Arts, but come to colleges to get some more specific skills in a particular industry area. So I think the conversation that we can have with parents is really about, you don't have to worry about making a bad choice, because the world is going to be full of choices and full of opportunities for students of the future, both as young people, but as increasingly as adults, as they look to change their careers, evolve their careers multiple times. So I think the sense that you have to choose right out of the gates because you're locked into something is really changing in terms of how we're reaching out to meet the needs of students.
I want to ask you a question about tuition. And, I believe that Ontario is known as having the highest tuition across the country. But there's some little known information buried in there, I think that's important.
There's a bit of a mythology about tuition. And what it is that there's a common understanding that tuition in Ontario is the highest in the country. And that is the case. If you lump all of the institutions together, Ontario has the highest tuition of all of the provinces. But the reality is, we get painted with a very broad brush. And in fact, institutions like you're seeing here today, the Colleges of Applied Arts and Technology and the ITALs, actually have amongst the lowest tuition in the country, in the third lowest category of tuition. So when you hear the story that tuition, education is unattainable because of tuition, you have to look a little bit more deeply under that to see that we offer great value. The return on investment is obvious. Students get jobs very quickly after graduating, particularly in this economy where employers are looking for the kinds of skill sets that we have. That the tuition is actually very reasonable. There's the 30% tuition rebate as well for students that is available. And that is accessible for a lot of students. And then institutions like Sheridan are really growing our own endowment. And Sheridan, I'm proud to say, has the largest endowment of any college in Canada at about $45 million now. Those are dollars that are available on an emergency basis or for scholarships and bursaries for students. So we're doing a lot to address the needs of students who are in financial need. But I would ask you to recognize that and perhaps help us to carry that message forward, that tuition in Ontario is much more complex than just saying it's the highest in Canada. If you're coming to a Sheridan, to a Lambton, to a Mohawk, you're actually paying amongst the third, in the bottom third highest tuition in the whole country.
And if you've been reading some of the news reports recently, there's a lot of employer satisfaction with college graduates.
Yeah, we measure very carefully the whole college system, what are called KPIs. And we're very eager every spring to see those numbers come out. And I'm always very proud of the KPI around graduation rates because we rank at Sheridan amongst the very highest in terms of grad rates. But we also do well, and really the system does well in terms of placement, that's employment rates of our students, employer satisfaction, which is a newer KPI that we undertake. So that's a good thing for us. And particularly in the economy, as I mentioned already, that we're in right now, employers are looking for graduates who can add value right out of the gates. And that's what a particular sweet spot for us as the applied institutions that we are, that we offer. Is we offer employers the opportunity to hire a graduate who can bring value to that organization virtually from day one. They can still learn a lot, but that is something that employers tell me all of the time, is that they're looking for those individuals who can really help their businesses to grow, particularly in a tougher economy. So even with the economy that we've seen, we've continued to see pretty good, strong placement rates and employer satisfaction.
Wonderful. So if we had a crystal ball, it would be wonderful. But if we talk about the future of education in terms of what these guidance counselors may be interested in knowing and helping us understand the trends, what would that be?
I just get back to that notion of, I think that for too long, Ontario has been structured around this bifurcated model where we had colleges and we had universities. And certain people went to universities and certain people went to colleges. I believe that's completely breaking down now. We're seeing it with the students who are going from universities to colleges, us going the other way. Frankly, other provinces have moved further down this road than Ontario. Many other provinces have instituted more differentiated models where they've created special purpose types of undergraduate teaching universities. They've created medical doctoral institutions, regional colleges, polytechnics. So I think the door is starting to open in Ontario to that. A recent study by HECO, the Higher Education Quality Council of Ontario, recommended to the provincial government that it look at a more differentiated model, that institutions should take on special purposes to focus on areas of particular strength and excellence, and I think that's really healthy. I think we're actually a little bit behind the game, but Ontario, being what it is, can catch up and take the lead on that. So I think that we're just going to see those barriers and to crossover really break down and create much more of a seamless system where all learning will be honored, whether it's the more theoretical learning, the graduate learning, but also the applied learning that's critically important to our communities, to our economy, to our industries, and for many students, it's what really turns them on, is that applied hands-on learning. So I think that's something we're going to see in the next 10 years, is breaking down those old stereotypes, and I'm excited about what the future is going to hold for us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to both of you for joining us.
Thanks, Shireen.